Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Much honors and respects to the apostles and others, great millstone, and to all the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, rightfully dividing the word of truth. You do it through your precepts. I say shalom back for another quick 4-part lesson. I'm going to title it Esau's Destiny. Let's get right into it. Psalms 58 and 2, we'll start there. Yeah, the heart in Hebrew is lab, which means minds. Ye, right, that work wickedness, right? Ye that wage violence of your hands in the earth. And let's understand something, all right? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, Job 9:24, okay? And Malachi 1:4 tells you who the wicked is, all right? That it's the nation of Edom, Esau, Edom, okay? That they're known as the border of wickedness, because of every border of every nation, that's what they bring. Evil, wickedness. You understand? Do you understand that America is a springboard for the evil and the wickedness throughout the earth? Okay? Because America is the Basra, the capital of the Edomites. Okay? In other words, America represents the eighth and final head of the Edomite beast system. The previous head was the British Empire. They were the seventh head. You understand that? And according to the parable, according to the scriptures here, okay, in Revelations, the 17th chapter, you know, it gives you a breakdown of the previous kingdoms, okay, of the Edomite beast system, all right, which would be Dominion Major, Dominion Minor, the French, the Spanish, and the Greeks, as being five fallen kingdoms. And then during the time that John the Revelator wrote the book of Revelations, which he was in his 90s on the island of Patmos, okay, he tells you, who the sixth head is, that period of time, during the time of the Roman Empire. You understand? That's the sixth head. And then the seventh, he will come and must continue a short space, would be Britannia, the British Empire. And then America is the eighth and final head that goeth into perdition, which means what? Destruction. You understand, people? Again, the little horn in Daniel chapter 7. All right? So to a lot of you out there, it may sound, a little strange or whatever the case is, but that's because you people are unfamiliar with the scriptures. You're not in counsel with the Lord. All right? You have studied no history. Okay? And you certainly don't know your scriptures. All right? But anyway, let's move on here. All right? So let's go to verse 3 here. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Now, again, this is a dark saying, people. This is not talking about how a newborn, starts speaking lies, because you know damn well that's not true. So this is a dark saying. What you need to understand here is, again, history, understanding that when they first come into power, calling themselves the Greeks through Alexander the Great and his father, King Philip the Macedonian, when they conquered, a part of Asia, which, again, is really Eurasia, all right, which is what it was originally called, and then they just simply called it Europe, okay? Do you understand? They're not Europeans. They're not from those lands. That was all the lands of Japhet, all of Europe, okay? So you wouldn't know that unless you know the history, all right? And then, of course, they morph into the fourth and final beast, the Roman Empire, and they were put down for 1,000 years. Then they would come back doing what? The Renaissance, which means rebirth. You understand? All right. Anyway, you know what? I've explained it to you so you understand, okay, what it's really talking about. Talking about every time that they come back into power, they come back speaking lies, okay? And that's covered in the scriptures when you read Revelations, the 20th chapter, all right? I'll give you an example of that when we come back. Shalom.